It's a new aircraft and a new airline on this channel. It's the Air Canada Boeing 787-8 Dreamliner. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Review, where today we will be taking a closer look at the Air Canada Boeing 787-8 Dreamliner from Herpa wings in the 1 to 500 scale. On the front of the box we have the Air Canada logo, as well as some Herpa branding, as well as a cutout so we can see the plane. Moving on to the back of the box, not much information about the aircraft, but we have an image of the plane at the top, as well as a web link from Herpa for more information. Here she is, the Boeing 787-8 Dreamliner of Air Canada. Before we take a closer look at this model, let's take a look at what this aircraft does in real life. This aircraft, with the registration code Charlie-Golf Hotel Papa Quebec, was delivered to Air Canada in May 2014, where it has stayed with Air Canada ever since. As of now, the airline has deployed this aircraft on the Toronto to Montreal route. But without further ado, let's take a closer look at this model. On the back of the plane we have the Air Canada logo, which is a maple leaf. Moving up the plane we have the rear doors as well as the cargo doors. Above that we have the full registration code of the aircraft, as well as the nation of the plane, which is Canada. And a little bit further down we have the aircraft type specification. Moving on the plane, we don't have much detail on the wings, but we will take a closer look at that in a second. And then at the front of the plane we have the Air Canada logo and branding once again. And then at the front of the plane, next to the L1 doors, we have the Star Alliance logo, which Air Canada is a founding member of. Moving up to the cockpit windows, there could have been a little bit more detail, but that is alright. Now onto the wings. As said earlier, there isn't much detail on the top of the plane, but if you look closely you can see the flaps, slats and spoilers carved out pretty good. And then moving on to the bottom of the wings, we don't have much detailing, but then again that is alright. Moving on to the engines, Air Canada have decided to leave them all black, which matches the plane very nicely. And if you look inside the engines, you can see the engine fan blades. There's also quite a bit of detail at the back of the engines, which is very pleasing to see from Herpa. Moving on to the rear landing gear, again there could have been a little bit more detail, but then again there's not much that could be added. And then moving on to the front landing gear, there is quite a bit of detail here. The only thing that would have been nice to see is the registration code on the top bit of the wheel. But without further ado, let's go to the summary. Like always, we are judging the model of 4 key elements I believe make a good model. The first being the box. On the front of the box, it's like all Herpa boxes in the current era. There isn't much detail on the front of the box that makes it different. But on the back of the box there could have been a little bit of information about the aircraft, like the length, width and height of the aircraft. That's why I give the box a 3 out of 5. Moving on to the mould of the aircraft, I believe Herpa have done a very good job with the mould for the Boeing 787-8. That's why I give the mold for this aircraft a 4 out of 5. Moving on to the detail of this model, there is quite a bit of detail, especially at the back and the front end of the model. However, there could have been a little bit of detail on the top side of the model. That's why I give the model for the detailing a 4 out of 5. Moving on to the realism of the model, and this is where we compare the model to the real life plane. And looking at the real life image, there isn't very much different apart from previously stated, like the registration code on the top part of the front landing gear. However, there potentially could have been again a little bit of detail on the top of the plane, which would have made it better. But without further ado, I give the score for the realism of this model a 4 out of 5, which gives this Herpa Wings Boeing 787-8 Dreamliner of Air Canada a score of 15 out of 20. Again, if you liked this video, make sure you hit the like button, and if you're new around here, why not you hit subscribe as well. But without further ado, that's HB Aviation signing out for now.